You already know what to do. You know you should wake up earlier. You know you should stop wasting time. You know you should work harder, eat better, focus more. You know all of this. And yet, every Monday feels like a fresh start. Every January feels like a new beginning. Every night you tell yourself, tomorrow I will be different. But tomorrow comes, and you are the same. This is not a knowledge problem. You do not need more information. You do not need another book, another video, another list of tips. What you need is the one thing that separates the people who change from the people who just talk about changing. That one thing is discipline. Not motivation, not inspiration, not passion. Discipline. This lesson is for English learners who are ready to think harder and live better. Today we are not here to feel good. We are here to get honest. Because discipline is not a gift that some people are born with. It is not a personality trait. It is not luck. Discipline is a choice. A hard, daily, non-negotiable choice. Discipline is not a gift. It is a choice you make every single day. I have studied the lives of people who truly transformed themselves. Not people who got lucky. Not people who had perfect conditions. People who started from nothing or from rock bottom and built something real. And every single one of them followed the same rules. Not some of them, all of them. 10 rules. 10 non-negotiable principles that real transformation is built on. Some of these rules will feel familiar. Good, that means you already know the truth. Now the question is, will you finally live by it? Others will feel uncomfortable. Even better, discomfort is where change begins. By the end of this lesson, you will not just understand these rules, you will feel them. And if you are serious, if you are truly ready, you will start living them today. Not tomorrow, today. Let me ask you something. How many times have you felt motivated, really motivated? That fire in your chest, that voice saying, this time is different. This time I will do it. You made a plan. You told yourself you were ready. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, you were. Then it faded. The alarm rang and you turned it off. The workout felt too hard. The project felt too big. The goal felt too far. And the motivation, that powerful feeling you were counting on, was simply gone. Here is the truth. Motivation is not a system. It is a feeling. And feelings change. They depend on your sleep, your mood, your stress, your circumstances. On a good day, motivation is easy. On a hard day, it disappears completely. And life has far more hard days than good ones. This is why motivated people start strong and then stop. They are running on fuel that runs out. Disciplined people do not run on fuel. They run on decision. Jocko Willink is a former Navy SEAL, a combat veteran, and one of the most disciplined men alive. He says 3 words that changed the way thousands of people think about their lives. 3 words. Discipline equals freedom. Think about that. Most people believe discipline means restriction, rules, suffering, giving things up. But Jocko says the opposite is true. When you are disciplined, you do not have to decide every morning whether you will work out, whether you will eat well, whether you will do the hard thing. It is already decided. The decision is made once, and then it is never questioned again. That is freedom, real freedom. Not the freedom to do nothing, the freedom to become everything you are capable of. Weak minds wait for motivation. Strong minds build discipline. Stop waiting, start deciding. That is the foundation. Now let us build the house. 10 rules, one by one. Rule 1. Show up every day. Not when you feel like it, not when the conditions are perfect, not when you are rested, motivated, inspired, and ready. Every day. That is the rule. Here is what most people get wrong about discipline. They think intensity is the answer. They go hard for 30 days. They wake up at 5. They work out twice. They eat perfectly. They grind until midnight, and at the end of 30 days, they are burned out, bitter, and back to zero. Intensity without consistency is just exhaustion. Think about two people. The first person goes to the gym every single day for 1 hour. Nothing special, nothing extreme. Just 1 hour every day for 2 years. The second person trains like an athlete for 30 days, burns out, takes 2 months off, trains hard again for 3 weeks, then disappears again. After 2 years, who is stronger? Who is healthier? Who has actually changed? The first person, every time. Because showing up is the work. Not the big sessions, not the perfect days. The ordinary days when nothing feels exciting and you do it anyway. Those are the days that build real strength. Motivated people start strong. Disciplined people just start. Again and again and again. Show up, even when it is small, even when it is 10 minutes, even when it is half the effort you wanted to give. Show up, because showing up keeps the chain alive, and the chain is everything. Rule 2, win the morning. The first hour of your day is the most important hour, not because some book said so, because it is true, and deep down, you already know it. When you wake up and immediately reach for your phone, you give the first moments of your mind to other people's problems, other people's news, other people's noise. You start the day reactive. Someone else sets the tone. When you wake up and move your body, drink water, set your intention, do one hard thing before the world asks anything of you. You set the tone yourself. You start the day in control. Kobe Bryant woke up at 4 in the morning to train, not because the NBA required it, not because his contract said so, because when Kobe arrived at practice at 10, he had already been working for 6 hours. By the time his competition woke up, Kobe had already won something. The court was empty at 4 in the morning. That was the point. Nobody was watching, nobody was clapping. Just Kobe, the ball, and the work. You do not rise to the occasion. You fall to your level of preparation. Win the morning and you win a piece of the day. Win enough mornings and you win a piece of your life. You do not need to wake up at 4, but you need to own that first hour. Protect it. Use it. Make it yours before the world takes it. The morning is not a warm-up. It is the foundation. Rule 3. Make it non-negotiable. There is a man I want you to think about. His name is Marcus. Not a famous person, not a celebrity. Just an ordinary man with an ordinary life and an extraordinary decision. Every morning for years, Marcus woke up and had the same conversation with himself. Should I work out today? I am tired. Maybe tomorrow. I worked hard yesterday. Maybe just this once I will skip. Every morning, the same negotiation. Some days he won, some days he lost. But every day, the negotiation drained him. It cost him energy before the day even started. Then one day, Marcus made a decision. He decided that the conversation was over. Not that working out was easy, not that he was never tired. Just that the question of whether he would do it was no longer a question. It was decided. Permanently. Non-negotiable. And something unexpected happened. It got easier. Not the workout. The workout was still hard. But the morning got easier because there was nothing to decide. He just got up and did it the way he brushed his teeth, the way he put on his shoes. It was simply what he did. This is the power of making something non-negotiable. You stop spending energy on the decision, and you spend that energy on the action instead. Remove the word maybe from your discipline vocabulary. Remove if I feel like it. Remove unless something comes up. These words are exits, and exits lead back to where you started. Discipline is not a gift. It is a choice you make every single day. Make the choice once, then stop making it again. Rule 4. Design your environment. Willpower is real, but it is also limited. Every decision you make, every temptation you resist, every moment you force yourself to focus drains a little more of it. By the end of a long day, your willpower is nearly gone, and that is exactly when the bad choices feel easiest. This is not weakness, this is biology. Even the most disciplined people in the world lose willpower as the day goes on. So the truly disciplined do not rely on willpower alone. They build environments that make the right choice the easy choice. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, puts it simply: if you want to read more, put the book on your pillow. If you want to eat better, put the fruit on the counter and hide the junk food at the back of the cupboard. If you want to sleep earlier, put your phone in another room. You are not fighting your bad habits. You are redesigning the battlefield. Think about your own life right now. Where is your phone when you sleep? How close is the snack you are trying to stop eating? How easy is it to do the thing you keep avoiding? Your environment is either working for you or against you. There is no neutral ground. Winners do not rely on willpower. They make the right choice the easy choice. Change your environment and you change your behavior. It is not magic, it is design. Rule 5. Embrace discomfort. Every time you choose the comfortable option, you choose a smaller life. That is not an opinion. That is a pattern. Look at every person who has truly changed, truly grown, truly built something worth having. Not one of them did it by staying comfortable. Not one of them found transformation on the easy path. Every single one of them walked through something hard, and they chose to keep walking. David Goggins was not born disciplined. He was born into poverty, abuse, and failure. He was overweight, unhappy, and going nowhere. Then he decided to become a Navy SEAL, one of the hardest military qualifications in the world. He failed the first attempt. He came back. He failed again. He came back again. He passed. Then he ran ultra marathons. Then he broke world records. Then he wrote a book that changed millions of lives. Goggins has 2 words he lives by: stay hard. Not stay comfortable, not stay safe. Stay hard. He says that the human mind will always look for the exit, always. When the workout gets difficult, the mind says stop. When the project gets complicated, the mind says quit. When the relationship gets painful, the mind says run. The mind is not your enemy, but it is not always your friend either. Sometimes you have to override it. Weak people run from discomfort. Strong people run toward it. The next time something feels hard, pause for 1 second. Notice the feeling. Then do it anyway. Not because pain is good, but because on the other side of that discomfort is the version of you that you are trying to become. Growth does not live in your comfort zone. It never has, it never will. Stay hard. Rule 6. Track everything. You cannot improve what you do not measure. Most people live on feeling. I think I am eating well. I feel like I have been working hard. I believe I am making progress. But feelings lie. Feelings are shaped by mood, by memory, by the story you want to tell yourself. Numbers do not lie. Data does not lie. Think about 2 people trying to save money. The first person tries their best, avoids big purchases, and hopes for the best. The second person writes down every single thing they spend, every coffee, every lunch, every small purchase that feels too small to matter. After 3 months, the second person sees exactly where the money goes. They see the pattern. They see the problem. And because they can see it, they can fix it. Tracking is not obsession. Tracking is awareness. And awareness is the beginning of every real change. What you measure, you manage. Track your sleep. Track your workouts. Track your spending. Track your time. Not to judge yourself, not to be perfect, but to see clearly. Because most people are not failing because they are lazy. They are failing because they are blind. Open your eyes, Write it down. See the truth. The truth is uncomfortable sometimes, but you have already learned to embrace discomfort. So look at the numbers, then act on them. Rule 7. Guard your energy. Your time is limited, but your energy is even more limited. You can get more time by waking up earlier, sleeping less, cutting distractions. But you cannot manufacture more energy. You have a fixed amount each day, and every commitment you make, every obligation you accept, every yes you give takes a piece of it. Most people treat their energy like it is infinite. They say yes to everything. Every request, every invitation, every favor, every meeting that could have been an email. They fill their days completely. And then they wonder why they have nothing left for the things that actually matter. Disciplined people say no more than they say yes, not because they are selfish, because they understand the math. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. Every hour given to distraction is an hour taken from purpose. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire for nearly 20 years. He led armies, managed politics, dealt with crises that would break ordinary men. And yet, he found time every morning to sit in silence, to write in his journal, to think clearly. How? Because he ruthlessly protected that time. He did not let the noise of the empire steal the quiet of his mornings. He understood something most people never learn. You cannot lead anything, build anything, or become anything if you have given all of yourself away before the real work begins. Look at your calendar this week. Look at your obligations. Ask yourself honestly, how many of these things are truly moving my life forward? How many of them are just noise I said yes to because I did not want to disappoint someone? Guard your energy like it is the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Discipline is not a gift. It is a choice you make every single day. And one of the most important choices is what you say no to. Rule 8. Audit your circle. You have heard this before. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You have heard it. But have you actually looked at your 5 people? Think about 2 people, same age, same city, same dream of building a better life, same starting point. The first person spends most of their time with people who complain about their jobs, talk about other people, and spend weekends doing nothing. Not bad people, just going nowhere. The second person spends their time with people who read, who build things, who talk about ideas, who challenge each other to grow. Not perfect people, just people moving forward. 5 years later, these 2 people do not even recognize each other's lives. Your circle is not just company, it is a mirror. It is a standard. It is a constant, quiet signal telling you what is normal, what is possible, what is acceptable. Average people comfort each other. Disciplined people challenge each other. This does not mean you cut everyone out of your life. It means you are intentional about who gets your time and your energy. It means you seek out people who are doing the things you want to do, living the life you want to live, thinking the thoughts you want to think. You are being shaped by your circle, whether you choose it or not. The question is, are you choosing it? Rule 9. Fail forward. Her name was Sarah, 34 years old, single mother. She had spent 7 years building a small business, a catering company that she started from her kitchen with $200 and a second-hand oven. She built it slowly, carefully, painfully. And then in one bad year, a combination of poor decisions and bad luck brought it down. She lost the business. She lost the savings. She lost the confidence she had spent 7 years building. Most people in Sarah's position stop there. The story ends with the loss. They carry it like a label. I tried and I failed. And they spend the rest of their lives making sure they never feel that way again by never trying again. Sarah did something different. She spent 3 months being honest with herself about every decision that went wrong. Not to punish herself, to learn. She wrote it all down. What she did wrong, what she would do differently, what she now understood that she did not understand before. Then she started again, smaller, smarter. With all the knowledge that failure had given her, knowledge you cannot buy, cannot read in a book, cannot get any other way except through the experience of building and losing and rebuilding. 4 years later, her second business was 3 times the size of the first. Every person who has truly transformed their life has a story like Sarah's. Not a story of smooth progress and perfect decisions. A story of failure, honesty, and the choice to keep going. A setback is not a stop sign. It is data. It tells you what did not work, what needs to change, what you are not ready for yet. And that information, if you are willing to look at it honestly, is the most valuable thing you can receive. The people who never fail are the people who never try. That is not safety. That is the slowest, quietest kind of failure there is. Fail. Learn. Adjust. Go again. Discipline is not a gift. It is a choice you make every single day. And on the days after failure, it is the hardest choice. And the most important one. Rule 10. Make discipline your identity. This is the last rule, and it is the one that holds all the others together. You can follow 9 rules perfectly and still fall apart. Because if discipline is just something you do, it will always feel like effort. It will always feel like a fight. And eventually, the fight gets tiring. The shift happens when discipline becomes something you are. James Clear writes about this in his work on habits. He says the most powerful thing you can do is change your identity first before you change your behavior. Not, I am trying to work out more, but I am a person who trains. Not, I am trying to spend less, but I am someone who is careful with money. Not, I am working on my discipline, but I am a disciplined person. These are not just words. Identity is the lens through which you see every decision. When you see yourself as a disciplined person, skipping the workout is not tempting. It is out of character. It does not feel like you. Most people try to build habits first and hope that identity follows, but it rarely does. The gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it, that gap is not filled by more information. It is filled by a new story about who you are. Stop asking, can I do this? Start asking, is this who I am? Because when discipline becomes who you are, the rules stop feeling like rules. They feel like you. They feel like home. And that is when real transformation becomes not just possible, but inevitable. 10 rules. Let us say them one more time, not to repeat, but to remember. Show up every day. Win the morning. Make it non-negotiable. Design your environment. Embrace discomfort. Track everything. Guard your energy. Audit your circle. Fail forward. Make discipline your identity. These are not 10 separate ideas. They are one system. Each rule supports the others. Each one makes the next one easier. When you show up every day winning, the morning gets simpler. When you design your environment, making it non-negotiable becomes natural. When you embrace discomfort, failing forward stops being painful. When discipline becomes your identity, all 10 rules stop being rules at all. This is not a list you follow for 30 days and then forget. This is a way of living. A permanent decision about the kind of person you are going to be. And I want to be honest with you. You will not get all 10 right immediately. Nobody does. You will have bad days. You will break the chain. You will negotiate with yourself at 6 in the morning and sometimes lose. That is not failure. That is being human. The only real failure is deciding that the bad day means it is over. It is never over. The next moment is always a chance to start again. So pick one rule, just one. The one that hit you the hardest today. The one you know deep down you have been avoiding. Start there. Not tomorrow, not Monday. Right now after this video ends. And I want to know which one it is. Leave a comment below. Tell me, which of these 10 rules do you need most right now? I read every comment. I want to hear from you. Because here is what I know about the person watching this video. You are not someone who gives up easily. You would not still be here 30 minutes in if you were. You are someone who is serious, someone who is ready. Now prove it. Discipline is not a gift. It is a choice you make every single day. Make that choice today. Make it tomorrow. Make it every single day until it is no longer a choice, until it is simply who you are. Thank you for spending this time with me. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep growing every single day. I will see you in the next lesson.